And fans, due to unforeseen circumstances, the game tonight has been postponed. You are all safe. And take your time in leaving the arena tonight and do so in an orderly fashion. Thank you for coming out tonight.
The players, coaches, referees conferred and went back into the locker room. All of them, both teams from the bench, went to the locker room and waited for the league to either give the green light or the red light on this game. And the official announcement just came that this game has been postponed.
Shams Charania of The Athletic is reporting that Rudy Gobert is the first United States professional athlete that is known right now to have tested positive for coronavirus. The NBA has responded. The NBA season, following tonight's action, has officially been suspended for the time being.
On March 11, 2020, the sports landscape changed. The National Basketball Association postponed the 2019-2020 season after Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert tested positive for COVID-19, shocking players, fans, and sports journalists.
Never has a season just been stopped in its tracks, 75% of the way through, and due to circumstances that are completely beyond the league's control, and due to circumstances that are beyond everyone's control.
And I can always tell when something's going on based on how the responses are coming back, right? If they're crickets and it's sort of one word, I'm like, all right, something's really going on because y'all not really trying to tell me what's happening. I know. I was like, damn, this is serious. And then, literally the league shut down within less than 24 hours.
Following the shocking news, other sports leagues followed suit, including Major League Baseball, postponing the start of its season with opening day just over 2 weeks away.
Everything shutting down all of a sudden within a period of 48 hours, as you well know. All of a sudden you needed to figure out what was next. And you're so used to being in Florida with Grapefruit League, right? Like I already had my schedule. I already had my trip to Montreal where the Yankees were supposed to play an exhibition game in late March. So you all of a sudden don't know what to do.
What to do is the question many sports journalists, including ESPN's national baseball writer Marly Rivera, were asking themselves. Without games going on, how would those who tell the stories of American sports do their jobs?
I started to really realize, whoa, okay, I'm not going to get on a plane for a really long time. And I don't know if I'm going to have access to a lot of athletes during this time period.
Access is limited now that most sports leagues have either canceled or indefinitely postponed their upcoming schedules. Journalists tell me they have to be more creative now more than ever.
So it really is a test of not only your creativity, that's absolutely true, talking to your bosses and your editors, who are also really smart people who help you come up with ideas, but it's also a test of your relationships and how many relationships were you able to put in the game.
Throughout the pandemic, major sports outlets are looking for their staff writers to still consistently produce content. Freelance journalists have a slightly different struggle.
We have to create content on our own. And of course, the challenge with that is that there's money involved in that, right, and time. But the lucky thing is we've got these wonderful tools, right? I'm here. I got things to talk about. Let's do it. I've got my website where I house all my articles. I can do that. I got a Medium account. So it's just ways in which you just post and you write and you create, you post video. You just do things and you hope that you continue to feed your creativity.
Creativity means the world to sports features writers, but telling the long-form stories they craft has become a bit more challenging.
When you do profiles of people, you want to be in the same room with them. You want to study their mannerisms. You want to notice how they react. It's you're not just writing what they're saying, it's how they're saying it. And so, to adjust, we have to do phone interviews, Skype interviews, which are fine and work. It's just not the same.
I've only had 2 bylines since this started because, as I say, there's not a lot to explore right now, and there are no narratives right now. There are no grudge matches. There are no personality clashes. There's no intrigue over who's getting fired or who's winning a scoring tie. It's just everything is just in limbo.
If you check the websites of various sports media outlets, you will see a lot of looking back, deep dives into legendary players and games, rankings of all-time teams, and even reevaluating former drafts. There seems to be a limited amount of looking ahead, as nobody truly knows when sports as we have known it will return.
There's only so many ways to rank players, rank teams, rank eras. There's only so many lists you can come up with. There's only so much you can kind of manufacture. There are the stories. In a normal time, you have a combination of, somewhat manufactured premises or stories, ideas that hit you because of a certain trend or something somebody said or whatever. But and then all the stuff that's just generated by the games themselves. and the arc of a season. And when you lose all that, you lose that structure and you lose anything that can generate new ideas and new stories. I think eventually fans will get a little fatigued of that. And I think that's a real issue right now.
I think there is absolutely that fans are getting tired. They want something in front of them. I mean, people are watching, Korean links from Korean baseball.
With replays of classic games and quarantine lists becoming the norm, storytellers are grateful to be doing the job they love. While looking forward to a return to normalcy, they say telling the stories and producing the content they can during this time is necessary.
Globally, we are all going through this together, and I think there is a tendency to just look inward and we need to look outward, like whether it's, China sending masks here or us telling stories about what's happening in Italy. Like there just has to be, I just think we're at this like weird point in society where we're just closing all of our doors and borders and things, and it's, I don't know, just from my perspective, it's very important to make sure we are global in our thinking and we are helpful in our thinking, and storytelling reflects society. And so I'm always thinking beyond myself, my situation, my country, like what is happening in the world. What an American is going through with this is similar to what other countries have dealt with as well. And so it's just important to tell these stories.